Hello guys, my name is Dean aka the Blue Crusader and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can configure and set up your radar to look a lot better in CSGO. So you'll see on the left my radar is basically the default one. If you want to know how to get the knives like what I have in this video, I'm using the spectral knife right now. I do actually have a video on how you can actually test out all of the knives in the game and just mess around with them using console commands without even having to own them. So definitely check that one out if you guys are interested. But today we're going to be looking at the radars. Okay, so the radar in the top left, it's not too big, it's not too obstructive. In fact, it takes up just the right amount of room in my opinion. But I'm going to be showing you some pretty cool commands that you can actually use to resize the radar. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to open up the console. Okay, I have videos on how to use the console, so I'm not going to be explaining how you can enable it, but I'm going to be showing you some commands. And we can see the comparison on the left of the actual radar, so you should be able to see it change in real time in correspondence to these commands. So first of all, we have CL HUD radar scale and then the value. So right now it should be at 1. If we change it to 2, it will get bigger. And 2 is the max. You'll see that anything above 2 won't resize it any bigger. But we can do small increments like 1.8 and 1.6. But most of the time, those won't work as well. But we can do 1 and we can do 2. And we can actually do 0.8 as well. So some of the increments below 1 will actually work. That's how to resize your radar. Now personally for me, I prefer to have the radar just at 1 because that's how I like it and that's how everything looks fine for me. There is also the CL radar always centered command. So we can type in 0 or type in 1 and you'll see when we do this, the actual red arrows, which are the enemy indicators on the radar, they will actually change, okay? So if we put it on 1, it will always center where those arrows and those dots are, where the enemies are. And to be honest, you should probably use this. Having it always centered is kind of crucial, but you can also turn this off as well, and you'll see that's what the effect is. And when you center it, basically, your player position is not centered if you go on 0. You'll see that you can run to the sides of things, you can mess around with things. To be honest, this is more realistic when it's not centered, and it can actually be really beneficial, but leaving it on centers is also really nice because it just automatically centers everything for you. But this is more of a follow cam when it's not centered, as you can see, and it's actually kind of nice. I think this is actually quite a nice setting, but it depends obviously on user preference. I'm going to personally leave it on centered, but I think both methods are pretty good. Then there is CL radar icon scale min. Okay, so right now it's on 0.6, which you'll see is the default, but we can turn it down. So if I go on 0.1, you'll see that it changes the icon sizes. So 0.2, we can change it to 0.4, and it's kind of hard to see a difference, but the more you turn it up, you will notice. So I can put it on 1, I can put it on 2. I can turn it up, but you can't turn it up too high. It's just like before, where most commands only go to 1 or 2. Now the minimum is 0.4, so we can go all the way to 0.4, and 0.6, 0.8, and then 1. The maximum is 1, and the lowest is 0.4. Now, for people who don't want the radar to rotate, you can see if I spin on the left axis or the right axis, you'll see the radar is rotating. Some people don't like that. I don't know why. Personally, I think having it rotate is pretty useful on knowing your position in the map, and most people just get used to it. But if you don't want that, you can type in CL radar rotate, and then currently it's on 1 by default. But if I put it on 0, when I walk around, the radar doesn't spin with me. It just stays how it is, which I don't really like. It's kind of confusing, but that stops everything from spinning around. Your player position spins on its axis, but nothing else spins, as you can see in the top left. Then there is also CL radar scale, okay? And the maximum for this is 1, and the minimum is 0.25. So we can turn it down to 0.25. This is just basically the general scale of all of the dots and icons on the radar. As you can see, instead of just the player dot, everything changes when we turn that value up or down. Now, when you're in a match, okay, and you have the C4, it will actually show an image or an icon, if you like, on the radar of you actually having a C4. As you can see now, I've just spawned myself a C4, and you can see on the minimap, we do actually have a C4 icon. Now this can actually be toggled, okay? So what you would do is you type in CL HUD bomb under radar, which is 1 by default. If we put it to 0, it toggles it. Now, I'm not telling you to look at the radar because you can see the icon is still on the radar. You should be looking at under the radar where there's a little image, and as you see when I change the command, it disappears. And that is basically it. These are the most important radar commands. There probably maybe a few more, but for the most part, this is really it when it comes to customizing your radar. If you do have any other commands though that I did miss, then please do leave them in the comment section below, because they will definitely help people who are looking for more commands. But these are all the commands I know of, and I'm pretty sure that's basically just it. And that's how to customize your radar. So mess around with these commands and see what you come out with, and see what your radar looks like at the end, and hopefully it's more to your liking and a little bit less obstructive to your screen, especially if you're playing in lower resolution or if you're playing on a small monitor. Then things like this can really help. So make sure to smash a like on the video if it was helpful, and share it to any friends who play CSGO, and check out the other CSGO videos on my channel. I have videos on how to trade, how to get out of silver, how to get skins from starting off with nothing or a small investment, and some other really cool CSGO videos on how to use console commands and how to test out any knife in offline mode for free using console commands. So thanks a lot for watching guys, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.